something that Positive Footprints like to focus on is also the materials, not just the performance of the home, but it likes to focus on the impact of the materials more broadly. So what we've chosen here are materials, firstly, that are very durable and easy to maintain for the owners, because no one wants to get up on ladders and go up 2 stories to maintain things. So these are all pre-painted, they'll last forever, but they're low in what they call embodied carbon. That's the amount of energy that's gone in to make them. So we've got fibre cement cladding here. And then on this wall, around there, we've got our metal cladding. And metal per tonne, very high in embodied carbon, but because it's only 0.48 millimetres thick, I think, per square metre, it's actually really low in embodied
contribution's not great.
That's right. And it's also going to be recycled at end of life. So a great Australian material to use.
And as you said, low maintenance, so it's easy to look after, especially as, you know, we're getting an ageing population as well. So people are thinking about how they're going to look after their house as they get older.
Yep.
So you're designing the house to meet a whole lot of requirements. So as you said, trying to warm it up in the winter time. We keep the sun out in the summertime. I noticed here you've got a veranda.
This will hopefully be covered in vines, maybe grapes, and picking grapes, living the good life.
And why a vine?
Why a vine? Because a vine will, all the leaves will disappear during the winter and the sun will shine in during the winter, but obviously get full summer shade
so it's nice and shaded
so it's
in
beautiful,
the summertime.
beautiful this time of year to enjoy. And as you can see, we've got the eaves all the way along the north. Very important to shade those eaves in our hot summer sun. You know, when it's 40 degrees outside, the last thing you want is some of that sunlight shining directly in the house. And it's an easy thing to put on an eave. These windows, by the way, also very low maintenance PVC windows. Extremely effective. They've got a U value of 1.7 for those of you who know about U values. So it's a very high performance.
So again, it's keeping the temperatures inside the house constant.
Effectively, It's an insulative window. It'll keep the inside in and the outside out.
And because they're PVC, they don't conduct the heat and cold through the frame as well.
Exactly, and they're big and meaty and robust, and they're going to last over time, which is important.
And we found those to be okay in the Australian sun.
Yeah, fantastic. And the other thing that I particularly like about these windows is they're now recycling the PVC in Melbourne.
So again, you're closing that, thinking about the materials we're using, closing that loop.
Yes, that's it.
You know, people say circular economy, that's the kind of jargon we use, but that's the idea. And I noticed too, even the decking, you've thought about the decking you've used?
Eco-deck decking, so that's 50% recycled plastic, 50% wood offcut, but extremely durable, won't need to maintain, and the same with the fencing around there. And all these materials are not only durable, but they're also cost effective. So one thing the Positive Footprints really wants to do is to show examples that can become, you know, mainstream propositions for people who want high performance.
Because I guess some people can afford a bit more, so they're going to have all the bells and whistles, but you're trying to show that this is a house that anyone can have, really.
That's right. You know, green, you can get green at pretty much all price points.
We're now in the main living area of the house, Jeremy, and I can see there's a few features that go into high performance homes in here. Do you want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, well, you can see most of them here pretty much on display. First of all, we've got the concrete floor. These owners were going for a certain price point, so this is a burnished concrete slab, but it's not your standard slab. This is a very special eco slab. It's a lot of the cement's been taken out, about approximately 60% of the cement, and it's replaced with slag and fly ash to begin with. And then the rest of the embodied carbon from what the remainder of the cement is has been offset. So effectively, this is a zero carbon slab, and then that's been burnished.
And as a builder, is there anything special you need to think about when you're working with this sort of product?
No, and that's the good news. You know, one of the great things over the years is that more sustainable products have been coming online, so it's pretty easy now to move into this field and to find the products pretty quickly. So I really like that as a builder. The other thing you don't see in here is behind the plaster, and so if you want a home to perform, doesn't matter how good the windows are, how much concrete mass you put in, if you don't put in good insulation, the whole thing falls to bits. So, you know, pretty meticulously installed installations is something that my boys have been focusing on for a long time now. And we've also got the Sustainable Builders Alliance have a nice checklist that you can go through. It's a quality assurance checklist, and we always sort of tick that off as we go, just to make sure we don't miss any little things to do with tightness or wraps or caulking, penetrations and those sorts of things. So the house is reasonably tight, well insulated, and it's got that internal mass within that insulated structure. So the house stays cool in the middle of the day like it is now. This morning when I came here, it was cold outside, but I opened the door and I walk inside and it's nice and warm.
Feels nice and warm.
Yeah, you've got that stability of temperature.
Yeah, and like as you said, it's not just about the insulation you use, but making sure it's installed correctly. Those little sort of finishing touches.
Yes. Yeah, the rule of thumb, 5% holes, 50% reduction in insulation value. I don't know how accurate that is, but you know, you don't want to be leaking energy if you don't need to. Yeah. It's all part of just minimising the demand of the house shell itself.